Welcome back to Josh's Smart Home. If you've been following along on the video series I've been doing about how to set up an easy and powerful smart home, then you know we've already covered the basics, including, what device types you might want to utilize, the different protocols you might want to utilize, the different ecosystems, and even the automations. But today we're going to be getting into smart home security. If you're new here, I just want to let you know I've been building out my smart home for about a decade now, and I want to share with you what I've learned along the way. If you think smart home security is merely about deterring burglars, then you'd be wrong. There's a lot more power than that. It's about knowing that everything at your house and your loved ones are safe and secure no matter where you are. And really, smart home security goes way beyond just a simple security system that would deter burglars or go off if something opens or something along those lines. And we'll get into it and show you how powerful this can be. Today we're talking about proactive monitoring, smart alerts, and integration into your smart home that really takes this to the next level. First up, let's talk about the smart AI detection that is so readily available now. Gone are the days that you have that grainy video. Think of those videos from the banks when you see the bank robber and you're like, is that a person or what is that thing? You don't even know what it is. And we have those grainy videos, but our smart homes are way more advanced than this. They have AI detection, which means that it can tell the difference between a person, a package, a pet, amongst other things like a vehicle. So there's a lot of advantages here to utilizing the smart cameras within our smart homes and integrating everything together seamlessly. There's a lot of different brands you could choose from. There's Wise, there's Arlo, Ring, Nest, but my favorite is Reolink. I have these all around my house and I absolutely love them. I can do things like set a specific area, a different zone that it can trigger on and block out other areas. So if I, for example, have my driveway in the video shot, I can block out the road and only know when cars go into my driveway. Or if I have a person detection, I can do it from my front porch and only when people are coming up the sidewalk, not if they're out on the driveway or out around the mailbox at the road or anything like that. So there's a lot of powerful features directly in the UI of the smart cameras. And one of the things that I do with my Reolink cameras is I set up smart alerts. So I'm not getting useless alerts. I can get alerts like there's a person in this particular area, and it can come through directly on my cell phone through Home Assistant. And that means that my alerts aren't useless. How many times have you gotten alerts if you have a smart camera that says, there's motion detected and it was a leaf falling off of a tree or some rain or whatever else, a bug flying around, maybe a spider, at night, whatever it may be. But these are smart alerts. These are situations where the AI knows that something specific is happening that I wanted it to trigger, and I get that alert. And you could turn these things, into really complex situations where you say, only send this alert if it's a person in this area and I'm not home, for example. So it's pretty complex and pretty cool to utilize and use the AI intelligence to your advantage. And the next sensors probably aren't what you're expecting for security either. It's not the open close, it's not the motion sensors, it's environmental sensors. And these sensors will be the carbon monoxide sensor, the smoke detector sensors, the water leak sensors, and even smart plugs. So let me explain. Home security is not just protecting your home from intruders and protecting your loved ones and your valuables from intruders, but also from any other threat. And that's where these environmental sensors come in. It makes a lot of sense to have protection outside of just an intruder. Smart smoke detectors can allow you to send alerts right to your phone, even if you're not home, so you're instantly notified. You could turn on, red lights somewhere in your house and your smart lights. You could unlock doors to get, out of the house easier. You could flash lights to draw attention. You could set off sirens outside on your cameras. You can do all kinds of things to really increase the potential that your home is saved, your valuables are saved, and more importantly, your family is safe. Another example of an automation with a smoke detector is maybe you have something that could, fuel the fire or trigger, additional fires in your house. Maybe you want to turn off all the space heaters or something like that. That's where smart plugs come in, and you can just cut the power from different appliances or different systems so that you don't have to worry about those negatively impacting your home in the case of a fire. These little sensors are a total lifesaver. A small leak can turn into a huge disaster in your house. And what better way to discover it than when it is still small? And that's where these water leak sensors come into play. We've had so many times that we've had one and it went off for whatever reason. Maybe the drain line underneath the sink started developing a slow leak and it immediately identified it, or we had an issue where the sump pump wasn't pumping like it should have, and that went off, or somebody left the sink on the one time and it triggered one of the leak sensors to go off. So there's been so many instances in our house where we haven't had them that long, but it saved us tons of money having these. And you could have a simple alert going to your cell phone, but I really love the automation built in with these, and that is the automation that I have set up with our water leak sensor and the water valve shutoff. Oh my goodness. The combination of these two are absolutely amazing. So what I have set up is certain water leak sensors around our house. Could be from the pressurized side of our house, the incoming water. So if it's any of those leak sensors, I have it shut off the water to the whole house and send us alerts. That way, the leak doesn't get any bigger if that's the source of the leak, and that could save so much money. The third item we're going to talk about here are smart locks, smart garage doors, and keypads, so access controls to your home. And these are really powerful, removing the fact that you'd have to be physically there to lock or unlock a door or open a garage door or, set some type of code up. You can do all this remotely, and it is super cool. Brands like Yale, August, and Schlage are some of the front runners in the door lock category. So where you're looking at either the deadbolt or the locks on the doors themselves, that's going to be some of the companies you're going to be looking at here. We have just some old Z-Wave brand, Z-Wave Schlage branded door locks, and they've still worked great. Integrate directly into Home Assistant and haven't had any problems, which is why we still have them. And this allows us to remotely set things up or remotely unlock the doors, whatever we need to do. And you can also set, special passwords. So you could have somebody, be able to get into the door through a password. Maybe you have a contractor coming over or a friend that needs to drop something off. You can set up the password. You can also do the same kind of thing in the garage doors and set up temporary passwords there with the keypad, or open the door remotely, or have some other type of trigger as well. And the automations are really cool when it comes to the access security as well. For example, when we leave the house, we can have the doors lock and the garage doors close if it's the last person that left. Or when we arrive home, we can open up or unlock what we need to unlock. We could have it trigger at a certain time. So if we know that, we have a certain delivery coming at a certain time, we can have the garage door open at that time. We could have it even monitor utilizing the cameras and say, when, a vehicle pulls into the driveway and it's between this time frame, open up the garage door, because maybe we know we have a delivery coming that day and we want it to be placed securely inside our garage rather than sitting on the front porch. And for the fourth category we're going to talk about, of course, no home is secure without a home security system and alarm. So how could you have a smart home secure without one? Obviously, you couldn't. So this is where we're going to talk about the smart home brains of the security system, the siren, the door and window open and close sensors, the motion sensors. You have all these things that can intertwine and create this complete security system well in advance of what you're going to get from any of these big security companies that typically just want to give you, a couple of sensors here or there, or very minimal level, and they're going to charge you an arm and a leg to monitor it, when you can monitor it all by yourself very simply, no matter where you are. Arming your smart home security system can be as simple as touching a button on your cell phone or telling your favorite voice assistant to arm the alarm. Whatever you want to do is how you can set it up. But there's much more power in the smart home than this. This additional power is achieved through automations. And this is where you could say, if the security is armed and a certain motion sensor, gets kicked off, or a certain open close sensor, is opened up, you could have maybe a screenshot from a camera sent immediately to your phone as an alert, and accompany that with the information that the door opened or whatever it may be. You could have all the lights in your house maybe turn on. You could have all of your cameras that have a siren start going off in addition to your other siren that's part of your smart home system. So you could have all kinds kinds of things happen. You could have alerts sent out to neighbors, via text message or alerts on your phone, whatever you'd want to do. Really, your imagination is the only boundary there is. So as you can see, a modern smart home security system is not just about a noisy alarm system. It's not just about getting that call on your cell phone that says, hey, the front door opened, your security alarm was armed. It's about so much more than that. It's about the AI. It's about the access controls. It's about the integration and automation. Those take it to the next level. In the next video in this series, we're going to be talking about some unique smart home devices that not everybody has and how they can really set your smart home apart from the others. If you'd like this video, make sure you hit the like button below and leave me a comment letting me know what your favorite smart home security item is, or if you have any questions. I love hearing from you guys. Make sure you subscribe to Josh's Smart Home for tips, tricks, and guides to make your home smarter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.